What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Adrenaline Motorsports and RCs. If it's your first time here, welcome to Adrenaline Motorsports and RCs. And thanks for coming to my channel. So, my last episode that I did, I was working on the links for the Land Rover LR3. And as you guys will see in a minute, they're done. I have the uppers and lower links completely 100%. Well, not 100%, but they are completely done. I do have the links. I have the axles exactly where I want them to be on the body. With the body where the wheel wells are. I have that done. That's completely done. The links are done. All I got to do now is show you what I got done. So here we are, guys. As you guys can see, they're mounted. They are mounted. The that's just the springs. The shocks. So as you guys can see, I got the Ford link up front. Got the 4-link in the rear. So this bad boy is set. I am happy with the way this came out. Last video I left you guys with, I think it was just the rear links that I made. Finally did the front links. What I have to do now with the links front and rear, if I can find them, is basically the tubing that I have. So I got the aluminum tubes for the links. And I think I showed you guys last time, but I'm going to show you guys again. The size of the tubes, the aluminum tubes, you guys will see here. So the aluminum tubing, let that focus. There you go, aluminum tubing, 7/32 by 0.014 in millimeters. That's, sorry guys for being so shaky, 5.65 by 355? Yep. 5.65 millimeters by 0.355 millimeters. So here I'll show you guys that again. So you guys can see. Yes, they only cost me $2.59 for these two rods, which I believe they're like 3 foot long. Something like that. Yeah, sure. So anyway, so I got these to put on. I'm looking for my tape measure because I really want to measure these and tell you in inches what they are. Which I have my tape measure somewhere. Anyway. So that is where we're at right now. So with the body, here's the body, here's the chassis. Let me make a little room here because my whole workbench here is a little in the disaster side of things. But hey, what can I say? I'm trying to work on this thing. Alright, so let me just take this bolt out that's holding the drive shaft, and I will set this bad boy into place. I almost forgot, I gotta take these out. So what I did was part of the battery tray for this thing, I put it on the front. So as you guys can see, part of the battery tray, which is supposed to go on the back, what I actually did was I took off this tray here, Here, let me just lower the camera so you guys can see what I'm talking about. There we go. Because I know you all don't want to see me. So this tray right here for the electronics, I actually took this piece off when I went to do the upper links. So when I took this off, I took the battery tray that was in the back, put it up here on the front, just so the chassis wouldn't basically open up and it would all be in one spot. So all I'm doing now is taking this bad boy off. And yes, I'm going to put that battery tray in the back again. Part of me kind of wanted to keep the battery up front for the fact of weight purposes. But I think if I keep it in the back, I think I should be alright. I'm saying I'm not going to, this thing isn't going to do any crawling. You guys will see why. It's not going to do any crawling. Oh, great. So now, now that I got the motor in, now that I got the transmission and the motor in, my little setup back here to keep the chassis up is not working because the box is now hitting the motor. So that's not working there, guys. So I'm going to come up with something else here to see if that'll work in my favor. And of course, it's not going to work in my favor. So, gotta improvise. See if this will help. Yeah, no, not really. Okay. But anyway. Alright, so basically that's where we're at. Here. The rear end, yes, the rear end is sitting a lot higher than it should be. The rear end should be sitting a lot lower. But of course, now the box that I was using for that isn't going to be in the right spot where it should be. Alright, so basically, here we go. That's basically where it's going to sit. Let me put this tape up front. So now I just got to figure out how I'm going to lift up the back end slightly. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, this is where we're at. So as you guys can see, I think the front is actually sitting a little bit higher here than the back is. Let me see if I can do that. There we go. So basically, right now, it's sitting where I want it to be. On the body itself, I'm actually going to have to do a little bit of trimming. Alright. So this part right here of the body, I'm going to have to trim this off. Because as you guys can see, the wheel, I might not be able to, but I'm trying to show. But the tire keeps hitting that front right there. See that? So I'm going to have to trim off some of this here in the front. So some of this right here is going to have to go. How is this going to get trimmed? I'm not sure yet. I am not 100% sure on how that's going to be trimmed out. What I'm going to do to trim it out. All I know is that it has to get trimmed out because the wheel keeps on hitting it on both sides. The other thing I have to do is basically realign everything. This axle has to come forward. See, let me go back out here. You guys can see the wheel here in the back. Again, this is just a mock-up. But basically, that's why. Basically, what's going on right now is this isn't working out for me. There we go. Okay, so I thought something was off back here with the. Oh, I know now. Something is off. I just remembered. The electronic tray. I turned it. Yeah, I turned that. Because of the I actually had to turn it because of the front drive shaft. If you guys can see. Okay, guess not. So let me get this body out of the way. So I completely forgot that I had turned this box. So this right here was facing the other way. So this flat part was actually facing towards the motor. What I wound up doing was I turned it because when I went to put the drive shaft in, this piece here, this one right here, would end up hitting the drive shaft. Where the heck is my little tool here? Here we go. So this piece right here, this flat piece, would end up hitting the drive shaft literally right there. So what I had to do was I had to turn, it was either A, leave the box where it was and cut this part off, or just turn the box around, which was what I ended up doing. But now what's happening is this little bump out right here of the box, instead of it coming straight down this way, it has that little bump out. That bump out was actually helping me align, which is what I might actually end up doing, is turning it back again and not worry about this drive shaft right now. But this box here was actually helping me align the chassis to the body so that I can be able to make mounts for it to mount on the body. And now that I just turned this box around, it kind of screwed me all up. So what I really have to do is that. But what I'm going to do... Hey, how you doing? But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to leave this as it is right now. And I'm basically going to measure out those tubes to cut them and install them. And that's more than likely what I'm probably going to have to do with this setup. And this video. I'm going to have to do that. The other thing I wanted to mention was when I put the transmission in, what I actually had to do was lift the transmission off of the skid plate. I doubt you guys will be able to see it. I'm going to try to show it to you. But if you happen to look right here, this spacer, I had to put that spacer in, which is on all four corners. Oh wait, no, that's not the spacer. Boop. Drive shaft's out. Alright, so right in here, there you go. You can see it right there. So that spacer right here, sorry about the lighting, guys. That spacer right down here, I had to put it in all four corners. I'm trying to show you guys the other ones, but it's kind of hard to see. So I had to put them in to actually lift up the transmission off of the skid plate because the motor was actually hitting the upper link. So that did that. Other than that, I think that's like the only type of modification I had to do with the transmission and the skid plate here. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, what we're going to do here now is flip this bad boy. And I'll show you. I think I did it in my last video. What did I do? I did links for the Hummer. For the Hummer, I made some links. And I showed how to make links. Or it was in one of my videos. I think it was for this. I made a video. I'm going to show you guys again how I measure out for the links. And going to show you guys how I measure out for the links. Put them on for the uppers and the lowers. Upper links, lower links. So we can get that part done. I still have to order drive shaft for the front of this thing, because as of right now I don't have drive shafts for the front. Right now this thing is literally only rear wheel drive. I have a servo here somewhere. I have a servo that I'm going to be putting in this thing. Basically it's kind of the same servo that I'm using for the Hummer that I have. Yes, same servo I'm using for the Hummer. I don't have sleeves for this. I only have these spindles, and of course they are axials from you guys can see right there, they are axials. Axial drive shafts. I only have these. I gotta get more of the other one, which is this one here. Ooh, sorry. So I have to get more of these. I have to get more of those, which I will end up ordering so I can do the front axles. So as of right now, this thing is just going to be rear-wheel drive. I definitely want to take this out very, very soon. So let me go on ahead, start measuring out the links, the tubes for the lower links and the upper links, and then we're going to go on ahead, put them on, and basically that's kind of going to be it for this video. I don't really have much. I could also do... Sorry guys, I'm like exhaustedly tired. I could also do the mounts for it. But I want to try to get everything on the chassis done before I figure out how I'm going to mount the body onto it. So yeah, let's go on ahead and do this. So let's get the tube. Get the tube. Right now I only need one tube. So basically what I'm going to do here, I'm going to bring you guys in a little bit closer. And right down to here. There you go. Hey, fellers! Alright, so basically... what I'm going to do is remove that from there. I know this isn't screwed in, but because I don't have anything there holding it. I gotta get a screwdriver. Makes this a lot faster. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab our permanent marker. Again, I like to use, if you guys can see that, the ultra fine point permanent marker. You guys can see there, ultra fine point. So I will put the tube on one end. So I'll put the tube on one end, put it right on the other, just like so. And so I gotta see what I'm doing here. It's not as easy as you think. I mean, it's easy to do as long as everything is good. The other way you guys can do it, you can do it this way. There we go. Now, see, I marked it right there. Now I'm going to double check it. Right here. Make sure that's right on the money. Alright, so another way to do it is get yourself a caliper like this, a digital caliper like this, and basically what you're going to do is do your measuring that way. You have a little screw there. Whoa, buddy. A little screw there, hold there, hold it there. Make sure it's nice and tight on there. Turn this little screw, tighten it up, and here is your other way of measuring. So what we'll do, basically with these calipers, whatever measurement you have from this point to this point, you will have from this point in here to this point in here. So basically all you got to do is, and if you guys can see, either way is right. Either my way or this way, either way is right. So what you can also do with this, which is a nice little feature. Basically, grab it and score it all the way around. So you'll have something, if you guys can see, I highly doubt it, but you can see a little score right there. See that little line? Not right basically where the permanent marker is, where it's a little brighter, lighter. So that's also another way So that right there is also, whoa, I'm leaning. Sorry guys. So that's also another way that you guys can do it. So you can do it either one of two ways. The way I just showed you, with just basically putting the tube up against both links, marking it, and there you go, you have a nice day. Or with this caliper, exactly the way that I showed you. Again, the way that I measured it, the way that I basically measured it was the link, there you go, the link on one side. I'm going to lift up this chassis here, just so I don't keep moving the camera around up and down and get you guys all nauseous. Because I kind of don't want to get you guys nauseous. Kind of want you guys to see what's going on here. If the wheel wasn't in the way, so I'll do this. Alright, so Basically, you grab your caliper, you just measure that to there, to the other end, and you do that. There's that little screw here. You tighten up that screw, you mark it on the tube, and there you go. You got one tube. You got one tube that's marked for your links. So if you guys want to build an RC, you guys want to build something from scratch and you don't know where to start, let's come up with it. Honestly, I basically, with this, I basically just said, all right, this is a chassis I want to use. A lot of people use the Tamiya. I say Tamiya. A lot of people call it Tamiya. CC01, I believe it is. I think it's a CC01 chassis. Now I'm actually gonna look that up because I don't think it's a CC01 chassis. Yes, so I was right the first time. So they'll actually use the Tamiya CC01 chassis, and I'm gonna show you. See if I can find a picture here. So there's a couple people. There are a couple people that have done this Land Rover body, but using a Tamiya CC01 chassis. I wanted to go a little different. As you guys can see here, somewhat. Alright, as you guys can see here, that is basically the Land Rover that I'm building with the Tamiya CC01 body. And if you guys can see, here we go, here's a better picture. If you guys can see, that basically makes the Land Rover sit as stock as possible. And that is what I'm trying to achieve in this situation, is try to make this thing sit as stock as possible. So basically that's where I'm at. And again, like I was saying, there's people that use a CC01 chassis. People like me, I'm using a G-Made sawback chassis. Guys, you can make anything work. You know, just put your mind to it. Don't be scared of building an RC. Make something your own. That's what's making it more interesting for me, is the fact that I'm making this my own. I'm doing my own thing. You know, I'm doing my own thing with it. I'm putting my own spin to it. I'm making it myself, making it work. Again, this is the joy of RCs, guys and girls. Don't be scared of building something. You know, basically all the RCs that I have are basically kits. I'd rather you do a kit than buy a RTR, but I'm kind of looking into buying an RTR now. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the kits, just for the main fact that I am putting it together myself, and I'm getting more joy out of it putting it together myself. Is it a little more work? Yes, because you basically have to put everything together, get your electronics together, which is another thing I like, because I kind of like using electronics, different types of electronics. If you see, a lot of people will end up taking off the electronics that come on their RCs and upgrading them. So instead of upgrading the electronics that comes with the RCs, I basically just put in what I want. But basically that's pretty much it. You know, granted, RTRs, you get them, charge the battery, put it in, and you're having a good time. With the kits, you're basically building it yourself, and you gotta wait a little bit longer. Unless you spend a whole day just working on it, putting it together, and you know, while you're working on it, putting it together, you have your battery charging. As soon as you're done, let it rip. Tater chip. So yeah. So guys, again, don't be scared of doing something like this. You know, go out and do it. That's basically all I can tell you is go out and do it. Have your fun. And with that, I am going to end this video. Get these tubes on these links and basically get this thing going. So thank you for watching. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you can get your notifications of more that's going to be coming out. And if you haven't yet, go watch my videos of my Land Rover. I'm sorry, I'm just so tired. Go watch the videos of my build for my Hummer. Basically restarted that from scratch. My Red Cat Raptor, Ford Raptor that I have. Guys, girls, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Again, hit that like button, subscribe. See you guys in another video.